This podcast is supported by MIDI Health. Are you in midlife, feeling dismissed, unheard, or just plain tired of the old healthcare system? You're not alone. For too long, women's serious midlife health issues have been trivialized, ignored, and met with a just deal with it attitude. Many of us have been made to feel ashamed or forgotten. In fact, even today, 75% of women seeking care for menopause and perimenopause issues are left entirely untreated. But here's the powerful truth. It's time for a change. It's time for MIDI. MIDI is not just a healthcare provider. It's a women's telehealth clinic, founded and supported by world-class leaders in women's health. What sets MIDI apart? We are the only women's telehealth brand covered by major insurance companies, making high-quality expert care accessible and affordable. Our clinicians provide one-on-one, face-to-face consultations where they truly listen to your unique needs. We offer a full range of holistic, data-driven solutions, from hormonal therapies and weight loss protocols to lifestyle coaching and preventative health guidance. This isn't one-size-fits-all care. This is care uniquely tailored for you. At MIDI, you will join our patients who feel seen, heard, and prioritized. You will find that our mission is clear: to help all women thrive in midlife, giving them access to the health care they deserve. Because we believe midlife isn't the middle at all. It is the beginning of your second act. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized insurance-covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. MIDI, the care women deserve.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your podcast host, Hanju Lee, and you are listening to Better Golf Daily, where I introduce one concept, one research-backed idea, and one thing you can take straight to the golf course. Let's go. First of all, shout out to New York Knicks, the 2026 NBA champions. For the diehard New York fans out there, have you ever cared about something so much that you couldn't actually watch it happen? Let's talk about Game 4 of the finals. Knicks were down 29 points. 29. And all over New York and beyond, all the diehard fans did something kind of funny. They turned off the TV, or they just stopped watching, or they just emotionally detached themselves to the game. They couldn't take it. It's too tense, too painful, too much. So they just walked away to protect themselves from the pain. But do you remember what happened? Knicks came back and won the largest comeback in the NBA Finals history. One of the great nights the sports has ever produced. And the whole lot of people who love that team missed it. Live, anyway. They watched it later after the fact, once they already knew how it ended. That's a safe way to protect your heart. But here's the problem with that. Life doesn't come with a replay button. The moments show up once in real time, and then it's gone for good. You're either in the room for it, or you're watching the highlights of a thing you were too anxious to live through. I want to sit with that fan for a second, because that fan is us. I just saw this on social media post from Petra Kolber, who is internationally renowned fitness authority, a movement motivator, and a positive psychology coach, who's also a diehard Knicks fan. And she said this: I couldn't tolerate the Knicks. I had to turn off the TV. The Knicks were down 29 points. I couldn't take it. They came back and won, the largest comeback in NBA Finals history, and I missed it because I was too anxious to watch. I watched the replay, saw every shot, every comeback moment, but that's not how it works. Real life doesn't have a replay button. The moment happens, then it's gone. And after I turned it off, I asked, what is wrong with me? Why can't I watch a game I actually want to see? The answer? You haven't built up the tolerance. You don't watch enough games to get comfortable with discomfort. Karl Anthony Towns says something after the game that sums it up perfectly. He thanked the fans for staying in their seats, for staying in the mud, he said. Staying in the mud is the mission ticket. You don't get to celebrate what you didn't stay for. So next time, stay in the mud. The comeback you're waiting for is already in progress. Are you in the room watching the replay? Psychologists have a name for what's happening when you flip off the TV. It's called avoidance. And avoidance is sneaky because it works, in the short term anyway. The second you look away, the discomfort drops, instant relief. But here's what the research on anxiety shows over and over again. Every time you escape the hard feeling, you quietly teach your brain that the hard feeling was too big to survive. The avoidance doesn't shrink the discomfort, it feeds it. The only thing that actually builds tolerance is staying in the room while it's still ugly. They call it habituation, and it only works if you don't leave. Which brings back to Karl Anthony Towns, who's the center and power forward for New York Knicks. After the comeback, the first thing he did was thank the fans. Not the ones screaming at the buzzer, but the ones who stuck with the team through an ugly first half and stayed in their seats when leaving would have been so much easier. And on championship night, talking about his own beaten up road to title, he said he kept putting one foot in front of the other, even when he was, in his word, in the mud. That's the whole thing right there. Staying in the mud is a price of admission. You don't get to throw the party for the win you ducked out on. Now let's talk golf, because golfers turn off the TV all the time. We just do it to ourselves. You make a double on 7 during a tournament, and somewhere on the walk to 8, quietly, you check out. You concede the round in your head. You're still swinging and you're still keeping score, but emotionally, you've left the building. You're already in the parking lot, already telling your buddies the story of the worst round ever. You stop being in the room. And that's the round you learn nothing from. That's the round that makes you more fragile, not less, because you just taught yourself one more time that when it gets uncomfortable, you just leave. So here's the work. Next time it goes sideways, the blow-up hole, the lost ball, the 3-putt that tilts you, the OB, don't turn off the TV. Stay in the mud. Finish the hole like it matters. Stay present for the exact stretch you give anything to fast forward. You're not doing it for the score that day. You're doing it to build the one thing those swing tips can give you, the tolerance to still be standing there clear-headed when the round finally turns. Because rounds turn, but only for the people still in the room. So here's your one thing today. Next time it gets hard enough that you want to check out, don't. Stay in the mud 1 minute longer than it feels comfortable. That minute is where the tolerance gets built. And tolerance is where comebacks get made. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Talk to you next time. Until then, stay in the mud, because that's where the comeback is already happening. Bye for now.